Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, bringing you that boom bap breakfast. Just us, not just me holding the D. You know who it is. She coming through lovely. And it's a beautiful sight to see. Let's give it up to the one of them called Jackie Lukeman.
Oh, I was just getting into my little
I
groove.
see you back there. I see you turning up.
I was trying to slowly.
Cranking up.
I can't do anything too fast. I got arthritis. I can hurt something. I can't. No sudden moves over here.
Did you ever try copper
Copper?
for arthritis?
Oh, you mean like the sleeves and stuff?
Well, not a copper, like the bracelets and stuff like that.
It's stuff doesn't work. Look, if you stuff may work if you have early, little late middle age arthritis, the little teeny old back pain, a little bit, you little stiff.
Little something.
Nah, I got Negro arthritis. I'm sorry. I have Mr. Arthritis with a capital.
Because I know
It's a proper noun. I got arthritis.
I know some hairdressers that do the copper and some. When I used to make jewelry back in my day, I used to sell it. That and hematite. Yeah.
Hold on, let me get this straight. You were selling pizza.
Selling pizza, yeah.
With a little extra on the side.
something. T-shirts, big CDs.
T-shirts, oils. Didn't you say you sold
oils, incense?
Oils, incense, and now jewelry.
Jewelry, yes. Cowrie shell necklaces, bracelets, anklets. I know how to make it all.
What? Oh wait, you made them? You didn't like get them from a wholesale place?
I made these. Yeah. Made those the copper bracelets and
So you were sitting in the basement with some pliers,
watching TV. Yep.
Ask me how I know that.
Cause you do it. You did it too.
I used to hang out with a dude who that's kind of what he was, one of the vendors. And that's another thing that I miss about DC, old school DC. Vendors were all over the place. Yes. You walk down 7th Street, you walk down 14th Street, down on the National Mall. There were vendors all over the place selling everything. And it was so great. It was, you had the food vendors, you know, the hot dog man, the half smoke, because half smoke is DC. And people don't know how to make if you want a half smoke in DC now, you got to go to a carryout. That's just the truth, because all the vendors are gone, and all of the homemade jewelry, especially up on Georgia Avenue, up around Howard University, with all of the African shops. And man,
vending is a tough life, especially when you got to deal with rain. Oh man, I had some stories, boy. I told you about my encounter with Lauryn Hill.
No, how long did it take?
I was then. It was brief, but it was a lifetime for me. I was down at the Auburn Street Festival, and I was vending down there with my homeboy, and Lauryn Hill walked by back when, the misinterpretation came out. Miseducation. My bad. But that came out, and then she was walking past the booth, and I was selling the jewelry, and she just stopped and stared at me while she was walking, and just like, it was like slow motion. She was with my
Of course it was.
she was with my homeboy Uhuru, and he had his guitar. I was like, look at him trying to get up on her and stuff. I was like,
Hmm.
chill. But she just stopped and looked at me and just like slow motion. And I looked at her like, and then she had a video called Sweet Thing and put a dude in
Oh,
there that looked just
oh,
like me.
oh no. Somehow I knew this was what
I'm just I'm just stating facts here, Jackie. I'm just stating facts. I can't bend the story too much. It's
I
just what
think
it
you did.
was.
I think you bent the story a lot, but that's okay. That's all right. I appreciate it. I appreciate the artistic license. That-
I mean, and then one time I was supposed to be at the Centennial Park when they had the bombings, and we chose to go to Alabama instead to go in there. So
Wait,
yeah,
to where?
Centennial Park when they had the Olympic
Oh,
bombings.
the Olympic bombing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was supposed to be right there at that same location vending.
Wow.
And
And so are you
yeah.
saying the spirit of Lauryn Hill
Oh no, no, no. This is a whole
warned
nother
you?
story. This is a whole.
Okay.
I'm going past the Lauryn Hill story. The disrespect I get from
Oh, I'm
people when I
sorry.
tell them this story. I'm going past it. This is what it is. Lauren knows. People could watch the video and be
Okay.
like, "Damn, that looked just like Ed Doctor if he had hair."
Lauren be like, I don't know what his name was, but he
Yep.
inspired me.
Nah, exactly. So, but speaking of entertainers, we got we did just get to see this brother right here, Michael B. Jordan get a
Hmm.
Grammy. What's that,
A
Grammy?
what?
Oscar.
I mean, not like I give a damn about anybody's award. I'm just saying, if we're gonna have a conversation,
Let's
let's
have
talk
a
about the right
conversation
reward.
for a movie where he got to play two lead roles in one movie. They had a phenomenal dance scene in the movie that went over the history of dance and music uh, that blacks gave to America and to the whole world. And then this original storyline. And when you go against stuff nowadays where they got so many other movies that have the same, they redo it, redos, and then you finally come up with an original storyline, and it's something that you could be like, yo, that was crafty how they put everything together. I definitely think he deserved that. So big up to Michael B. Jordan and Kugler.
Well, well.
Well,
Okay, here we go.
let's get it.
First, I must give this disclaimer. I am a fan of vampire movies.
Me
I
too.
love vampire. I don't care if the movie is really a vampire movie about vampires doing vampire stuff in a terrifying way, or if the movie is sort of about vampires and not a lot of vampire stuff
Hmm.
and not a lot of terror, but something else, but vampires are involved. I don't care. I love vampire movies. I do.
Hmm.
I'm a creature feature kid. I grew up on creature feature in DC. So I love all of the werewolf movies, ghost stories, whatever,
Hmm.
Godzilla. So I enjoyed Sinners because I love a good story. This was a good story, and it was an interesting twist
Hmm.
on the vampire story. I like that
Yeah.
this was, and I'm not saying that this has never been done, but I don't know because I haven't seen every movie. Um, but I did like the storytelling. I like the way the different aspects of culture are represented as kind of intertwined
Hmm.
in this, in both communities, in the community of human beings and the community of vampires.
Mm.
um and they're kind of parallel connected histories of oppression through settler colonialism. Look, I'm not trying to say Kugler or anybody involved in this movie is a revolutionary, and there that no, it's just a really, I just think it's really great that he chose actual history
Mhm.
to ground this story in. Whatever you think about the story, I think it is pretty neat that he stayed true to the history of Irish, of
Yeah.
a particular a story of a part of Irish history
Hmm.
and the real story of Black history and Asian, the history of
Hmm.
Asian immigrants in the South.
Yeah.
I really thought it was that was very creative and very good. As a music fan, and
Mm.
particularly as a punk fan, as a metal fan, as you know, kind of a I'm a little bit of a hip hop fan, but not like you all.
Yeah.
You know, you know me. My thing is metal and punk. That's where I pretty much live, and funk. So to see all of the expressions of Black and marginalized people's culture expressed through music and art, and having it all connected and intertwined to, man, that the first time I saw the movie and that scene played out, it was like I stopped watching the movie and I'm just trying to pick apart
Yeah.
everything that they're showing, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't watch the Oscars because fuck the Oscars, and I'll
Yeah.
tell you why in a minute. But I saw the performance of that on a YouTube after the so I've watched the movie 3 times, and I have the same feeling with that scene every time I watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That scene is brilliant. It is
Mm-hmm.
just a brilliant piece of
It is.
art.
It is.
And to see them the way they recreated it on the Oscar stage, jeez, man, that was that
Yeah,
that
that was
was that
hard.
was fantastic. That
And
was
that
I
that kid's
loved.
voice, like
I
that
mean,
blues, like you felt soul and blues all in this kid's voice.
and
It was just like,
that's
man.
that's but the way they presented it is
Hmm.
exactly how that genre comes about. It
Hmm.
comes about through us surviving the oppression, tapping into our spiritual self, because
Yeah.
that's church, that's spirituality, that's tapping into the ancestors, that is the voice of the ancestors, and then that's the blues and that's jazz, and
I mean,
that's that,
the rep.
and that kid did. I read up a little bit of the backstory of that kid did not know how to play guitar until
That's wild.
he, freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Just so the movie, I loved it. I loved the movie. Sinners, I think, is a really good, very entertaining movie. And for people who like a good story, vampire movies, and music and art, watch Sinners.
Yeah, and the revolutions that came out of the Virginia Revolution with the drums, the Haitian revolutions, all the types of music that started revolutions in certain eras. I mean, it's very important in our history that was even shown. Like you
Yeah,
saying, like it was dope for me in the cinematography. I mean, for me, I look at all the different aspects of a movie because I'm working on doing a movie, so I'm like, okay, this is what you got to have, and just seeing the growth as an actor for Michael B. Jordan was great from The Wire all the way up to you know what he's doing now, and just ready to see what else he got coming up. So I'm excited.
well,
Yeah.
well. Okay, now we got to get into the politics.
Oh, here we ain't got to get into the politics. Every
Yes, we
listen,
do. Yes, we
nah, we
because
don't.
for me, because I will tell you, for me, the politics is not the movie. Because if well, okay, let me say this: there are some movies that are presented as if they are making a political argument. That yeah, I will critique from a political perspective. Yep, absolutely will, because they're trying to make a political argument. And every single time they miss the mark, every they meaning Hollywood. And I don't care, we've had this conversation about Jesus and the Black Messiah, had
Mhm.
the conversation about surely about what's the name of the movie that won best picture, one
Oh, that one
what
battle
is it,
after
one
another.
battle after another. Yeah,
That was a political movie. I get
this
that,
is what,
but this
right, this is what I'm saying. When directors and writers and Hollywood says, well, this is a movie about a political figure or about a political era, I know they're going to get it wrong, and they always do. So yes, absolutely. I mean, what Black Panther was a low key political movie. It was, because the comics themselves had political messages, and the movie tried to convey those political messages, but the political messages are fucked up. Right.
Mm.
So yes, we critique some of these movies for these
I think
obvious attempts at political indoctrination. However,
I think political
however,
people just don't want to get
however,
left out of certain
however,
conversations, so they feel they have to get well the political part of this
however,
artwork. Like, yo, shut
however,
the okay.
okay, I will say this. I will say this. Sometimes sometimes some of us do get a little carried away with politically analyzing every single thing, as if everybody is trying to take a political message from
Mm-hmm.
every single thing. I think that can be true sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
However, the reality is every piece of entertainment we consume, I don't care what it is used for a political purpose, even if the entertainment itself is not intended to be political, because the context that all of this entertainment exists is that it is created, it is funded by, it is created for, and it is distributed through and to an entirely oppressive settler colonial capitalist imperialist system. So there's nothing innocuous about the way that system uses entertainment. Everything. I don't care if it's cartoons, if it's commercials, if it's books, if it's magazine. We understand that, right? So that's part of the reason a lot of political folks will critique every single thing that people watch, because we do understand that everything we watch and listen to and read can be used against us, and when it is elevated to a level like the Oscars, it is one of two things. It is the system saying, okay, we can't ignore them because this thing is popular, so we got to give them something. But in the case of the Oscars, as we see every time they do this with our stuff, they will give us some recognition, but the highest recognition is never given to us. We are always disappointed by, okay, they give us a few little acknowledgments, but then the ultimate prize always goes to some bullshit project like One Battle After Another. And that's a political issue.
Okay, I get that.
That's a political issue.
Yeah. So what was the how did they use sinners? How did they use sinners to do us harm this time?
Well, I'm not so sure that they use sinners to do us harm. I'm saying
Mm,
that this focus on people being disappointed in the Oscars, not awarding Sinners Best Picture. Why? What y'all disappointed in the Oscars for? The Oscars were created to bust unions in Hollywood.
mm-hmm.
That's what the Academy Awards was created to do, to divide workers in Hollywood and to throw some crumbs at the actors and some of the other workers so they could bust the unions, because the workers were carrying out strikes to demand better working conditions and pay, while Hollywood was making all of this money off of these movies that these workers were making possible. So the Academy Awards, the Oscars themselves, is literally a tool of capitalist oppression, anti worker oppression, right? So, why are we thinking that such an institution would
Wouldn't.
would be fair and award the actual genius of us? Now, come on. So, and then of course there is the history of the Oscars doing the very thing that people are disappointed about now, over and over again.
So we could take that whole scenario and put it into politics. Why do we feel that a government that has oppressed us and wants to keep us oppressed is going to turn around and be like, you know what? don't think we should oppress them anymore. We should change some stuff so they're not oppressed. Like, I mean, what are we waiting for here? I mean, are we? Why are we getting mad that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and we're mad that they're not going to change up and do something different? I mean, it's stupid. I think we should just reward the fact that artists created a certain type of art that people like. Some people look at the political, some people ain't political. So they don't
I
even
don't.
know. They don't even know. But the ones that are woke, quote unquote, and are political can break everything down. Some people will look at it like, yo, that was a good piece of, I like the music scene. I like how they, I like even designers that make clothes. Like, I like how they went to a certain era and found the right clothes. Like, you don't realize how many pieces go into a movie where you got people that's working and getting jobs off of this stuff, and at the same time, that's their art, their craft. Seeing uh productions on the scenes and stuff like that, all that stuff. So it's not always all political. It's certain other aspects of movies, of music, of different things that's not. And we always want to just tip the scales and make it more political than all the other stuff.
Well,
Just so we can have a debate. Just so we can sound smart. Just so our egos can can take us somewhere else. I'm just like, man, y'all shut the.
no. You see, you got it, and then you slid right on off.
No.
I don't know. I don't know why you did, but
No, I get it. I get it, but it's always two sides. It's always different perspectives. It's not always one. So
well, here's the thing. I completely reject the, everybody's not political. Look, this is 2026. We got
they're not.
what we got how many genocides going on right now?
We talking about the
And
viewers. We talking about the creator. When you say
huh?
this, when we say the statement, not everybody's political. Are we talking about the viewers or are we talking about the creators?
I'm talking about, I hate that statement altogether, because you cannot pay attention to something, and that doesn't mean anything, because the thing still exists and the thing is still kicking your ass whether you pay attention to it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so this idea of people saying, "Oh, I'm not political." No, it's not that you're not political. What you're trying to say is you don't care about politics because the politics you don't think have affected you. That's really what it is. People believe that the horrible things they see on the news, these are things that are happening to other people. They don't happen, but they don't make the connection between the reason the meat package is $5 more expensive this month than it was last month, and now you can't afford it, and why gas is 65 cents more a gallon. That's politics. You are political. Every time you can't figure out why something is more expensive this month than it was last month, that's politics doing you, honey. So you don't have to acknowledge the politics. They're going to do you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you are absolutely political. You're just choosing to be blind to it because it's just easier. It's more convenient for some people. So I don't even
And
start
and some people
conversations
aren't
with that.
educated, Jackie.
And that's a good, and that's fine. That I accept, of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
at
not
some
it's not
point,
like everybody's turning a blind eye and just ignorant. Some people just they just not educated. Some people don't even know that the Caribbeans are part of America. Like
okay,
we're
okay, and
not taught a lot in school.
now this is what I'm saying. I accept that because I know that's true. I have a lot more respect for people who say, you know what, I don't understand this. I don't understand. Why should I care? I have a lot more respect for that than folks who are still in 2026 talking about I'm not political. Yes, the hell you are. Yeah, you are. You are political. Because every time you get pissed off when eggs are more expensive, you are getting angry at a political problem, because
Mm,
a political problem has just shown up in your bank account. When the bank charges you new fees, that's politics.
mm-hmm.
Do
It is.
you
They
understand? When
it
your
is.
insurance rates go up, that's politics.
They just not
You're
aware of it.
political.
They just not aware of it. They think I'm just broke. Like That's what they
Yeah.
like. Damn, I ain't got no money. They don't think about the politics part of it because they're not
Yeah.
introduced to it like some of us are.
No, I think the argument I'm making is that I think for me, I'm not
Mm,
gonna say this for anybody else. For me, I think I have an easier time engaging with people when they are honest about the fact that, you know what, I don't know. I
mm,
don't understand this. I don't know. But don't sit in front of me and we are on fire. This is the apocalypse.
yeah.
This is, you know, and you go sit here with all this shit burning down around us, and you gonna sit here in front of me talking about I'm not political, man. No, that we're starting the conversation off with a lie. Be honest about it and say, you know what, I have not paid attention to this. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. You're right, I don't know what's going.
Mm.
I just think we need to be honest about where we are. And a lot of people aren't. But look, the whole this whole thing. I left this whole movie conversation alone because we kind of always end up here
Yeah.
when we talk about entertainment, because it always does get around to the history of things and what that means and the people involved and who the people are who are involved and who they are. I mean, because then the other side of this is like, what y'all celebrating Michael B. Jordan for? That little prick. What you celebrating him for? He don't like you. Like, and so it's like there are so many different levels to all of this kind of entertainment stuff. It's very it's a landmine. It's a quagmire kind of, because we pay attention to one aspect of
Hmm.
it, to the and we ignore all of the other
To the
aspects. So,
detriment.
oh my lord, see, I something is
I'm
working
help.
over here.
Listen. I went to Morris Brown, but you got to stop disrespecting the fact that But
I'm
anyway,
sorry.
continue.
Okay. I'm sorry. But so like we focus so much on, oh, we're so disappointed because the Oscar screwed us over, but the Oscar screwed y'all didn't remember hashtag Oscar so white. Why are you still? I don't understand. What the so we're focusing so much, oh, one battle after another was a terrible representation of black. Of course, because
Yeah.
that's what they do. What
The
you
fuck they?
surprised for? With the driving Miss Daisy, motherfucker. Damn, what the hell? I mean,
Why
they
ain't we
did the
had
same
the
thing.
Queen and Zinga movie yet? Like, it's certain things that
Like, what, what
we
are
ain't
you
gonna
what
get.
what
And
are y'all surprised about? But then we have all of this conversation about that, and we don't talk about the kind of person Michael B. Jordan is,
are we
which
not going to talk about that scene at the end in the barn when he invited all the KKK back out to the barn and got the shooting and stuff like that? I
that's the
mean,
movie. I'm talking about the
oh,
person in Ritzy.
I'm just saying, man. It was some good scenes in that movie. But
I mean,
anyway,
yes, I agree. Like I said, I enjoy the movie. Sinners is one of my favorite movies. I almost don't consider it a vampire movie, but I like it. I enjoy the movie. I really think it's great, but it's a movie, man. It is art, and it is very difficult to I'm thinking kind of a lot more about this argument of separating the art from the artist.
mm-hmm.
I don't know how
Ah,
I
see,
I
see,
what do do you throw away the art because
the
the
bath with
artist
the
is a
bathwater.
I
That's what
don't
I
I
say
don't
all the time.
well, no, I'm not answering the question. I'm getting the
Oh,
question. I'm
Jackie
getting
does
into
not
the
want to be
answer.
on my side, boy. I
No,
see.
I
I see.
don't.
Ah! Oh my God! See,
Now, no, we'll see, because we've been having this conversation forever. Because
yeah,
didn't we have
forever.
this conversation about Africa Bambata?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
the
yeah.
and it's like, listen,
You
you
can't erase
can't
them from
take
the history.
away. Yeah, you can't take away. You can't erase what these people have done, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think we should, because the art is the art,
Mm-hmm.
right? But in acknowledging the art, we are wrong if we don't acknowledge how fucked up these people were and who they hurt.
Yeah.
Right. And we are right back here again with this situation with, now let's take it out of movies and let's put it right into movement. How about that? This situation with Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta and his decades of sexual abuse of not only Dolores, who I just found out, well, everybody just found out that that his abuse of her resulted in 2 children that they kept secret. For and Dolores Huerta had kept this secret for 60 years. She is 96 years old and she is just telling people this. So when we're looking at when we're talking about separating the art from the artist, right? You can't take away from the work that Cesar Chavez did as a labor organizer, even as we have always criticized what he did, some of the things he did, because he was very anti-immigrant, which is very weird, because he would call immigration on people.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was deeply problematic before we knew that he was a sexual predator, which we all just kind of found out about, or at least got confirmation of yesterday. So do we ignore? Do we stop talking about his contribution to labor struggles for farm workers? I don't think we do. But in that conversation, I think we do have to be honest about the kind of abusive, predatory, sexually abusive, sexually violent man that he was. That's our responsibility, because we don't eradicate this from movement spaces. I hate saying that. We don't eradicate this from movement communities unless we are honest about it.
Yeah. And
Right.
so we can agree on this then, Jackie. We need to have balance. We need to tell both sides of the story. If we're going to talk about Kwanzaa, we need to talk about what who Karanga was, but then we also need to talk about how important the principles of Kwanzaa is, and at the same time, he wasn't the only one that created it. We need to talk about James Brown being a creator of if it wasn't for James, it would be Michael Jackson, we Prince. It wouldn't be a whole lot of beats made in hip hop with him and his band. But we also got to talk about how of a dirtball he was. So we got to talk both sides of the story, but we can't forget and exclude the other side of the story that's not all about the person. So I feel we can agree on that. So
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
you just hate to agree with me. That's what it is. It's like, God damn, I agree with him.
I know it feels weird.
I get it. I get it.
It's very uncomfortable. But I'm one of those people who, when I realize that an artist is, by artist usually I mean musician, because pretty much that is the, other than visual media, paintings and stuff like that. I don't really do a whole lot of that, but some, other than stuff you see in the background, that's basically as arty as I get.
Okay.
But I am the kind of person, and that's just me. I'm the kind of person who, when I realize an artist is truly a horrible human being, I can't listen to their music anymore. That is how I'm not saying that's how other people should. I try not to tell other people what to do. I'm just saying this is how I am. Like, as a metal fan, the band Pantera was fucking groundbreaking. It just, every metal fan will tell you that Pantera changed the game. Did just incredible. But when I found out that Philip Anselmo, other than he had a heroin addiction, so he had some problems, but he was also very much on the if Black Lives Matter, why can't white people say white lives matter? Did a Nazi salute at a show. Dimebag Darrell, the guitar player, had a Confederate a guitar with a Confederate flag on it. Once those things happened, it was like no more Pantera for me, and that broke my heart because I love I oh my god, a Pantera show was like, oh, it was like a legal cage fight. It was great. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
You
But
you yeah.
he was a horrible person now. Now he's off heroin. He says all of that was heroin and it was
Mhm.
bad and I'm sorry and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I still can't really listen to him because I don't really believe him, honestly.
Yeah, you know what the biggest joy from a DJ from how I look at it, I love to see when people are happy on the dance floor and lost from the world and just there in that space.
Mhm.
So you know how I hated not being able to play Step in the Name of Love. I don't play none of R. Kelly's music no more. And I was just like, yo, I used to love when they get it. Dun, 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 and I used that right there was like I don't play that. It's hard for me to play anything with Diddy's ad libs in it now anymore. It's. I used to love Dirty Money, the little group he had with the two girls. I think that you love me. I mean, he
Mhm.
had some
Mhm.
bangers, and now it's like,
Can't do it. I can't
can't
do
do
it.
it.
I
Can't
can't
do
because I feel all oily and greasy. I can't do it.
it. So that's what it is, man. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. It's me and Jackie. I don't know where the rest of the crew is, but you know, they don't call or text or nothing. But
Bless
I'm
your heart,
here. Jackie's
Mr.
here.
Server. Wow, Jackie, what about forgiveness for past transgressions? That's Jesus, baby. That ain't me. That's
Who
the
is
Lord. That is not me.
they do not look the same.
That's the Lord.
Oh man. Yeah, so I guess we could take a break. You got any news, Jackie? I'm sure
I might.
you're a
I might.
constant professional. I don't know if that's
I
said right,
might.
but it felt right. All right, so let's go take a break right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Can I take y'all to a place?
I'm the one man army ain't showing. I never been taken out. I keep MCs looking out. I drop signs that cross me dropping babies. Enough to make a nigga go crazy. In the G building, taking all types of medicines. Your ass thought you were better than they son. Keep planets in orbit while I be coming with deeper and more shit. Enough to make you break and shake your ass. I forget. Rhyme good as a tasty cake snakes. This style, I'm mastered in. Niggas catching headaches. What? You need aspirin? In your face like a can of mace, baby. Isn't burning but fucking now you're learning. How? I don't even like your motherfucking profile. Give me my fucking shit. Wow, that's loud.
All right. Let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to the year of 1995. We talking about that Brooklyn with Old Dirty Bastard off the album Return of the 36 Chambers, the dirty version. All right, so yeah, rock out over Ear Dr. Beat, as you know. Hit that like, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, donate where, BLK Liberation Media.org. Your love is sharing, is caring, is a great thing because we get to go and expand and hit more minds, get to educate the people, the masses. So let's continue to do that. Go ahead and post us. Take a picture, screenshot, and then post it and be like, are y'all watching the Remix Morning Show? Just saying. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Nice. I see somebody in the chat ask me about about these peoples. Of course, I know who Sepultura is. What kind of a metal fan do you think I am if I don't know who the best groove metal band out of Brazil is. That is fronted by that gorgeous specimen right there, Daryl Green. Yes.
That ain't Dave Chappelle.
Mother.
That nigga look like Dave Chappelle from a distance. Do he not? Come on, y'all. That nigga look like Dave Chappelle. You know that nigga big too. Stop playing.
I'm having a heart attack.
I'm saying in that picture, I was like, damn, what Dave doing up there?
I can't unsee it. I hate you so much.
I'm just saying. Anyway,
but yes, I do know. I can't remember who asked that, but whoever asked that. Yes, I am familiar with Sepultura. Big fan. Really dig them. Been on them for probably maybe not since the beginning, but for quite a few years. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I'll be hanging out. I was gonna go refill my coffee, but you know.
No, don't go refill your coffee.
Nah,
Let's talk about some news. So
right.
I guess we should toss the satellite.
There it is. Not the satellite. Yeah.
You see, now folks in the chat are contributing to your conspiracy theory with Sepultura. I don't appreciate that you did this. You started this thing. Now people in the chat talking about when Dave Chappelle left the U.S., guess where he went? He went to Brazil. Y'all stop. Y'all not going to slander Sepultura like that. You're not going to do
it. Big up to Dave. Oh man. So damn. While we here real quick, before we get to some news, make sure y'all tune in later today. I believe Kim is gonna be around. Kim Brown for Classical Breakdown Music 101 as we do Salt and Peppers here, and they're in effect. 1, 2, 3. Now you're talking about political groups. Salt and Pepper. Yeah. Express yourself.
Yep.
Let's talk about sex.
I wanna be a freak and sell it on the weekends. I'm your business. Yeah. Don't ask me why I remembered that.
I was just saying. I can tell. And they had a lot of go-go songs there, Jackie. They had a lot of go-go songs.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
EU.
Who is this? Who this is? Words and Stars 9, $10. Pantera's Drag the Waters would be perfect right now. See, I appreciate a kindred spirit coming along and contributing to the atmosphere. I agree. Even though I wouldn't play it, but I agree.
Yeah. And big up to Old Greece, $2. Arch Rivas.
Nice.
I speak a little Spanish, but I don't know what that means.
You don't know what it means.
Porquito.
Porquito? That's not. Oh Lord.
A little pork. What is it?
Pequeño.
That's wrong too.
Probably. I don't know.
I was like,
I know it's not Porquito.
It's something close. I'm sure that the chat room, all my meat eyes are gonna let us know.
Two people who can't speak Spanish are arguing a Spanish word neither one of us are getting right.
These maticones, somebody out there.
There you go.
I know curse words. Cállate. I know I know some. Oh, okay. Porquito.
I knew that. No, stop putting the R in there. There's no R in it.
Oh, poquito.
Yes.
See, I was close.
So what's pequeño?
Fruit.
Probably is. I've been running around asking people for fruit and didn't know.
Just give me a little fruit, a little space.
Does anybody have a lemon for her? Jesus Christ. She just...
Oh shit!
That's right. Pequeño is small. It's small. Yes, it's little. It's a
You
little
know,
bit.
that's what I was saying.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. You know, I know a little. I see.
Anyway, let me this week on Black
Take me to
Agenda.
Cuba with you next time. I'll help you out, Jackie.
Oh
I'll
Lord,
be your
don't do that.
translator.
Don't do that. No. I can get into enough trouble all by myself.
Black Agenda Report. Let's talk about it.
Woo. If you are not reading Black Agenda Report, there's something wrong with you. You are not being well informed.
You're
This
not
week on
black.
Black Agenda, you probably not. This week on Black Agenda,
Pick up
in
the
Black
body.
Agenda Report, Cuba, Venezuela, and regime change from our executive editor and senior columnist, Margaret Kimberly. A reprint of an interview from 1977 with Michael Manley about Cuba is fundamental to us. Also, we have an analysis from Ajamo Baraka, editor and columnist, and Margaret Kimberly, the editorial board of Black Agenda Report, on what is the left in the era of global fascism. Let me pull this up because that's a conversation. The Light of Palestine will lead the way to global liberation from Ajamu. Anthony Carefa Rogers Wright, weaponizing oil, ecocide imperialism, and the chemical warfare brigades of the U.S. and Israel. Weekly poem from our bar poet in residence, Play Black Girl Play, for the Oakland Public Conservatory of Music Girls. And we've got Who Threatens the Arab World, Iran or the US and Israel, from Joseph Massad. AI is African intelligence. The workers who train AI are fighting back, from Jason Kebler. I think that's how you pronounce that. Economic and Information War, the manipulation of the March 13th events in Cuba, by Isaac Saney. So I'm going to drop this link in the chat for you so you can have access to all of these articles in Black Agenda Report this week. Read them all. But this article in particular, this one by Ajamu Baraka, is what I want to talk about just a minute.
My older doppelganger.
You're, ooh.
When I take the glasses off, tell me, Jackie.
Does he know this?
Yes, you got to talk about a revolution, and therefore,
no.
I ain't look at sound.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so so there is we've been talking about this. We on the left, we actual African leftists have been talking about this whole what the hell is the left in the US thing for a while. And this is actually an interview that Ajamu did, that Margaret did with Ajamu, where they're talking about the left's response to what's going on in Iran, particularly after the assassination of Ali Larijani, the secretary of the Supreme National Security Council in Iran. Beloved figure. The man was an intellectual. He was a beloved figure in Iran. So every time the US does these kinds of things, they don't realize how they are only galvanizing the people they are terrorizing to resist them into further generations. All that is all this is. The US will never have a presence in the Middle East again after this, because these people will never forget and they will never forgive the US and Israel for this. But they're clear on this, the Iranian people, but we in the left are not. So Ajamu talks about the opposition to US imperialism on the left in the US, and he says this: the real question then is here. I'm reading from here. Let me make sure this is big enough for you all to see. Yes, it is. The real question then, Ajamu says, is where is the opposition? The response from the global left, particularly in the West, has been weak. almost to the point of irrelevance. The lack of resistance has emboldened U.S. aggression. We now face a dangerous situation. A U.S. state consolidating power within what I call an emerging system of global fascism, confronted by a fragmented, confused, and disorganized left. In some ways, this moment is even more dangerous than the rise of fascism in Europe in the 1930s. At that time, there was still a coherent and militant left, along with countervailing forces like the Soviet Union. Today, we do not see that level of organized resistance. Then Margaret asked, the term left is used very loosely. Many people identify as leftists, but I question that. How do you define the left? What criteria matter? Ajamu says that's an essential question. For me, the left consists of social forces grounded in scientific analysis of society and the international system, forces that oppose the imperialist, capitalist, colonial order. A genuine left is committed to social transformation toward a socialist alternative. It is informed by a materialist, specifically dialectic materialist framework. It recognizes that transformation requires intensified struggle, both national and class based. And he says, importantly, it rejects strategies imposed by the enemy. That means rejecting rigid commitments to nonviolence as dogma or limiting struggle to electoral pathways. It also means developing tactics based on concrete conditions, not ideology detached from reality. In short, the left must be prepared to engage in militant revolutionary opposition to the central contradiction of our time, the contradiction between imperialism and the rest of humanity.
I wonder if uh what does Kim think she's left?
Oh, hey.
Or are you left, or how would you describe left, Kim Brown?
How would I describe left?
Yeah, the left.
The left. People who are in support of everybody having access to the things that they need, not only to survive, but to thrive. Not
Yeah.
imposing your own personal beliefs in terms of like religion and all that on folks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that the same as liberal?
Your doctor, I just got
No.
here. Why are you doing this? Why?
That wasn't just for you, Kim.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Because Jackie was about to break down the difference between. Because I'm here to learn. You know.
This is
So the difference between left and liberal, Jackie.
Liberals don't want to change the system. The left should want to destroy the system and impose and develop and impose people-centered human rights for everyone. So the left has to be anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist, anti-colonial, anti-Zionist. Period.
Mm-hmm.
That's the left. The left has to oppose the current primary contradiction that affects us all. So the left has to start. It has to be grounded and foundational in opposing the primary contradiction. People confuse, and this is this is and please, folks in the chat, please understand when we say we have to ground our politics in opposing the current primary contradictions. Understand that things like racism, sexism, homo and transphobia, xenophobia, Islamophobia, all those things come out of settler colonialism and white supremacy and capitalism. So this is the mistake that we kind of make. We start with saying I am left because I am anti-racist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what do you feel about capitalism? Because if you only focus on anti-racist, you're going to miss the patriarchy, the xenophobia, the Islamophobia. Do you see what I mean?
So
if you only think you're left because you are anti environmental degradation, but you miss all of the human abuse, you you're not you're
So
not addressing the
so
issue.
so what I'm getting is liberals sit in the middle of the seesaw.
At this point, liberals sit on the right.
They don't
Yeah,
sit in the
there
middle
is
where they can pick and choose what they want.
now the
Not when
liberals
they
have
fund
chosen the
genocide.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is no center in the US anymore. There is far right, and then there is
Center right.
liberalism, which is the right.
Mm.
There is no the right. The GOP is so far right, and the liberals took up the right wing neoconservative neoliberal approach to policy decades ago. So they slid to the right. So now the Democrats are the right. They don't call themselves that, but then the right calls liberals the left because they both want to discredit the actual left. And but liberals have done a lot to discredit the left just over the past 3 years. Look at how the Democrats locked up all of the anti-genocide protesters, not just in the US but in the UK.
Mm.
So this let's be clear on who is left in this country and who is not. There are small pockets of left resistance. There is not a cohesive, organized left in this country because too many folks on the so called left focus on their own pet issues,
Mm.
but do not focus on the base and the superstructure that contain the primary contradictions that affect all of us. That's the issue.
So if you were to label yourself, what would you call yourself?
I'm a commie.
Goddamn commies. Kim, how you doing down there? Good to see you. You made it. You made it through.
I was pressured.
You was pressured.
He harassed you via text.
I just texted say good morning.
And then my mama called.
She was like, "Where are you? I don't see you on the screen." You said this is your day, right? That's what happened. Big up, Mama Brown, for putting it down, putting that pressure on her. That's right. Throw your cap on and get in front of that screen.
Shut the fuck up.
Let him straight, Kim.
No, Naka, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I mean, speaking of the contradictions of the left, I'm not sure if y'all got to this yet or not, but obviously the new revelations around Cesar Chavez being an abuser, rapist, child molester, all very, very bad.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. Interesting. What are your thoughts, Kim?
Drag them all from the mausoleums. I don't care how long ago the incidents took place. I don't care who is the alleged perpetrator, what position they have, how much reverence they may have, even within their own movements or communities. Drag them out, expose them, reveal them in the sunlight for who they are. And on one hand, we can appreciate the work, but I'm sorry, like I disagree with movement gains coming at the expense of people being harmed. People who are also doing that same movement work, people who are also as dedicated to the cause as the lauded leader. But if the lauded leader is an abuser and is serially especially doing harm to people, no, they deserve no protection in life. They don't deserve any protection in death. Drag them out so they can be exposed, and please expose the ones that are still breathing. Don't wait until they gone. If you are able, drag them while they are here, so that that I can't even call it accountability. I don't even know what accountability looks like in these scenarios, because it's not going through the criminal justice system, right? But I
Yeah.
think being revealed for who they actually are in the public sphere, it is a start. I won't say it's a good enough judgment, but it is the beginning. It's actually the bare minimum.
I agree, and you know, I have and I know it's like a human thing. I don't think this is something that is unique to people, to organizers, activists, people in movement, or you know, however we want to describe them. People like to lionize folks, and I just think that's just human. We like heroes. Um, well, I don't even know if it's human. I think it's cultural to the West. I don't know, but it's a thing that people do that I've always been kind of like, well, that's weird because that's just a person. Like there's nothing special about them that makes them, you know, that makes them deserving of being put on a like a pedestal where they can't be questioned, or they never do anything. Like they're not perfect, right? So that's always been kind of interesting to me. But I think for me that is something that I see too much of among folks who are organizers or activists. You know, they have people who are their favorites, and this is why this is something that I reject myself a lot, because it is not a situation where you want to be in, where everybody is like praising your name. Oh, you are the face of the thing, and I'm like, I do not want y'all in my business like this. That is really how I
Mm.
think. Like I do not want people peeking into my life, picking apart every single thing that I have ever done and said, because I know I have done and said some fucked up things. Now, nothing abusive like this, but this is exactly why we should not be putting people on pedestals, because none of us are perfect. Every single one of us have said or done some really messed up things. And if we know there are things that we hope that people never find out that we have said or done, why are we surprised when people who we have decided are heroes end up being terribly, terribly human and worse? You know, this is certainly not a situation where, oh, these are just typical. No, this is awful. But this also is a part of that whole thinking, where because this person did this special thing that I don't think I am able to do, they, you know, they deserve to be put on this pedestal. No, they don't. No, they do not. Cesar Chavez did not do anything that nobody else could do. He just happened to be the person who did it at that time. And even in doing it, he still did stuff that was fucked up in public that everybody knew about, which is why I didn't like the man. Because you can't tell me that you're going to organize on behalf of workers, but then you're going to call immigration and get people deported because they're scabs, or you're a virulent anti-communist. So that there were always problems with this dude. But this also speaks to, I think, the penchant in among activists and organizers to have sacred cows, to put people on a pedestal, and then when they find out, oh, these people are really awful and they shouldn't be on the pedestal, then there is too much of a focus on protecting the legacy of the person, as opposed to doing exactly what you said, Kim, being honest about who the person was and separating that person from the work that was done, that is still important and is still impactful, but that person doesn't have to be still held up as a hero, because they're clearly not. That's what we don't do enough of. You know, what we do is we get into these arguments about, oh, if we talk about what this person did, we're discrediting what they did. No, I don't think that's true in all cases. Um And I don't think that's true in this case. This is a mess, though. And it's just sparked a lot of more deep thought for me about, as an organizer, how do we like build and grow and improve from a situation like this? Because this ain't gonna be the last time. This is not gonna be the last time something like this comes out.
I
So
appreciate the response I've been seeing from the Latino community. You know, everybody's like, bye, bye. See ya. No, we don't uphold that. And you know, I'm thinking about so many different aspects of this. I'm thinking about the pain that his victims, including Dolores Huerta, have held on to, right? And I think of our mothers. I think of our grandmothers who have
mm-hmm.
experienced this type of trauma, and how women just got to eat that. You know what I'm saying? Like women just got to eat that for decades, with no accountability given to the predator, to the abuser. And that's a tough thing to sit with, Jackie, because I swear to God, I don't want anyone's daughters. I don't want any younger women than us. I don't want us to go through this time and time again, decade after decade, generation after generation, that women have to endure immeasurable harm imposed upon us. And again, with sexual assault being so grossly underreported, and those that do get reported are grossly underinvestigated, we're talking about 1%, 2%,
Mm-hmm.
5% of all alleged rapists ever will see any sort of police investigation, or even more rare, criminal charges. So many, the majority of abusers and rapists are walking around here scot-free, irregardless of their status in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
From the Epstein class in the White House to the motherfucking basketball coach abusing, the 13-year-old. I see lots of these stories. Unfortunately, my algorithm brings me a lot of this. So to your point, yeah, this is not simply something that exists in movement. This exists in our society. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't do enough about it. And it's just part and parcel that this Western culture don't give a shit about women and women and children. Let me not exclude little boys out of this
Mm-hmm.
either. Women and children, the least protected. And I just want to know when we're going to start unaliving these motherfuckers.
That's a good question. That I appreciate that, because that really is the question. Like, when are people gonna get serious about dealing with this issue? Because I feel like I feel like we don't understand the scope, I think, of it, of the issue. I think we don't understand its 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 place in the culture of this country. And I don't mean black culture or indigenous culture. I mean American culture, right? That's, yeah, that, ooh, the thoughts. But hold on real quick. I'm sorry. Old Grease, thank you so much. $5. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, the only way past idolization is through. I think that's true. If somebody intrigues you, your curiosity won't let you go until you understand it. I think that's a good point. I think that's a good point, because I mean, if I don't care about somebody, I'm not going to look into their, background. But if I really, really respect that person and what they do, what they, if whatever, I'm going to want to know more about them. And that's when I find out, oh, they're terrible. So, but that's me. A lot of people apparently are not that way. A lot of people are apparently are very much like, oh, well, I know, well, what's her name, the one who's married to the rapist, the rapper.
Oh, Nicki Minaj.
Yes, like, how, she's married to, she told you,
She
and
knows.
she's like, and so what, and you still listen to.
Sheesh.
I mean, same thing with R. Kelly. Same thing with what's his name, P Diddy. Even though some folks are backing off of him, but Harvey Weinstein. Did people still watch that man's movies? you
You know what I was thinking, Jack, because this is an unfair thought, chat. Let me preface by saying I'm about to say something that I know is not fair, but like I said, I was am appreciative of the response I'm seeing from the Latino community. Like, nope, get him out of here. But I feel like I'm like, damn, if this was a comparable Black movement leader who had passed on, would the response from our folks been, why y'all trying to bring Black man down? Like, what? I mean, and that might be, I may be totally off base by thinking that or assuming that, but even to this day, with someone like Bill Cosby, you hear that, you know what I'm saying? They were just trying to bring Cosby down. We trying to buy NBC, and all of a sudden, all these people came out. So I don't know. Is that am I? It's okay if I'm off base. If
I don't think you're off base. I think some people will still do that. I mean, somebody I can't even remember where I saw this, but somebody wrote something about how they view the United States when they're thinking about how people in this country respond to political things, and they think about the population being divided up into thirds. Like 1/3 of the people are really opposed and are really tuned in and really want to do something different. 1/3 of the people are like, yeah, that's bad, but what do you want me to do? I'm just a what? And 1/3 of the people are like, I don't care. I don't care because it's not me, it's them. And you know what? I like it. Right. So that I've been really thinking about that. Like, I think that's the way this country still is. I do think that's an accurate reflection, or an accurate way to visualize how people in this country are kind of divided. Maybe not into thirds, but I do think of people in these categories, like people who see something and they know it's wrong and it's evil and it needs to be stopped, and that's what they say and that's what they're willing to act on. Then there are the people who are like, yeah, I know this bad, but what you want me to do about it? And anyway, look, they make great music. You know what I mean?
he made
And
the
then,
Cosby Show.
yes, and they're the people who are like, yeah, I know it's bad, but he's a Black man and he was he's being attacked and blah blah blah. And then there are the people who are like, well, it's her fault. It's her. She shouldn't have went to the hotel because I remember those conversations about Mike Tyson.
Desiree Washington.
Woo! What did she expect when she went to that hotel?
Oh my God. Jackie, how you were a teenager, I'm guessing. 18,
No,
19?
I was in my early 20s, maybe early mid 20s, maybe. Yeah, but I remember those conversations.
Tell me what that sounded like to you, because I know what that sounded like to me as a little girl, but what did that sound like through the ears of a grown woman at that time? Just hearing that, like, this lady got dragged for filth. How? Why is she trying to bring Mike Tyson down?
Yep. Oh, it felt, and yeah, I absolutely shot back at people. So I deserved it, right? I deserved it. I deserved it when a guy that I went out with a couple of times invited me to his hotel room, and when I said I didn't want him to touch me, we fighting. I deserve that, huh? Okay, all right, cool. So next time, and I remember telling one person, and it was a woman who said this to me. I was like, so next time I'm gonna get one of my friends, set you up on a blind date. Get one of my friends to set you on a blind date, and then we'll play this scenario out with you, and we'll see how you feel when it's done to you. You give me a call and let me know. You give me a call and let me know after this is done to you, and tell me how you feel. Like, well, you deserve to have to fight for your fucking life because you went to a hotel room to visit somebody that you thought was cool with you. Okay. Yeah.
Can I tell you something real quick? So in my street running days, I got invited to a couple rappers' hotel rooms, and I brought my boyfriend.
Nice.
Intentionally, deliberately, because can't show up by yourself to the hotel room. These niggas might get the wrong idea.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's something that you learn from experience, unfortunately, you know. But if your experience is, and like certain people exist in a context, right? In the music industry, musicians exist in a particular context, right? Like as a heavy metal fan, I would not go to the hotel of any musician. I knew
Mm-hmm.
that much, right? I could, because I know, because I have heard stories and I have seen things. But this was a guy who I had gone out with before, just a regular dude. So I had no reason to think that he would not treat me with the same respect that he had treated me the two previous times we had gone out on dates, right? So different people have different contexts where we have to act differently. We do have a different response to different people in certain contexts. So yeah, it makes perfect sense that I would not go to a hotel room if, you know, a member of a band that I loved invited me to come to the hotel, because I know what that invitation's for.
Mm-hmm.
But a guy that I've gone out with a couple of times, well, why would I think there's any danger in that? You see what I mean? So there are so many. This is that's how complex this thing can be for us. For us, and realizing that there are people on the outside of these incidents who are in these kind of categories, and some of those people are like, well, yeah, it was terrible that he did that, but you know, he the goat, you know. Or, well, what'd you go to the room for? You knew.
I don't put shit past nobody. Big up to Novik the Terrible sending in a Chris dollar. 0 PE 4.99. Interrogate your preferences, as Jab always says. That includes our heroes. Our heroes. Only hero I had was my dad. Other than that, I never had no hero. But
Marcus Garvey.
eh, I didn't say, ooh, one day I'm gonna be like Marcus Garvey. No, I never. Is that what a hero is? Somebody say, ooh, one day I'm gonna be like this person, or I inspire to be aspire
I mean,
aspire to be like them.
Yeah.
is hero a synonym for savior? Like
Hmm.
someone that saves,
I,
a
I
rescuer?
I feel
Yeah.
like that's how people, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
why I don't like the idea. I have people I admire
Yeah.
for a specific
For what they
reason,
did. Yeah.
but yeah, after you get, excuse me, disappointed when you find out that your heroes, especially your childhood heroes,
Hmm.
are awful.
Mm.
That'll mess you up, you know, because I was a little kid. I loved wrestling. Hulk Hogan was one of my heroes.
Oh my God. I know.
Yeah, and then I thought, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, he would get you a little height when he tell you to say your prayers and take your vitamins,
Right.
little
You know,
maniacs.
and I know
he,
that might sound like, you know, a funny, ridiculous kind of comical example, but it's the same kind of, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter who the person is. That's why we shouldn't have heroes. That's
mm,
why you don't need a savior, man. You it's you. You're
mm,
the savior. You are your savior. You are your hero. That's what you need to stop lifting up other people because they did a thing that you don't think you have the talent to do. Oh my God, if we would stop paying so much attention to how special other people are, and we would realize that, hey, we're pretty damn special too.
Mhm.
that's
And
the
we can
one.
do some great stuff.
Air
That's the one
doctors.
thing I respect about the 5 percenters. They always said that you God, I'm God. Like we are the ones that save ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking
Mhm.
outside. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we're gonna come back with some more right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. What's good, everybody? Yeah. This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Air Doctor, and it's time for a quick hip hop story. We don't have the Minister Server here today, but I think he'll be joining us on classical breakdown later when we talk about salt and pepper here. And they're in effect. 1, 2, 3, push it. That move it by day and by night. Working up a sweat. All right. So here's what it is. We are talking about some other two sisters that got down with the same crew or producer. We talk about Herbie Lovebug, but we are talking about Finesse and Sinquist. Yes, Finesse and Sinquist. Real quick, I came out in the 80s. They were signed to Uptown Records, known for their song Soul Sisters. One was called, name was Sydney Hall, and the other was Shireen Brewster. And they was from Staten Island in Queens. And like I said, Herbie Lovebug did their music. And for a while, they had a couple songs that came out, and they was also one of the first artists on Andre Harrell's Uptown Records. One of the sisters actually had got down later with a Wu-Tang group, which was called Deadly Venoms. Finesse got down with a Wu-Tang group, Deadly Venoms, later in 1997 and wound up leaving. But other than that, yeah, it's another sisters that came out with the MCM suits back in the day that was killing it. So big up to Finesse and Sinquist. Want to learn some more about them? Do your research. All right, with that said, or that quick break, let's go ahead and get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
But no apparent reason. You should do what you do best, girl, and that's easy. Step on my stage and I'll go for your head. And attempt to rhyme, it don't be intense. So sisters never flake out. The only time we break out is when there's football rappers. So take out.
Get busy, y'all. Man, your boy Herbie. Your boy Herbie had the hand when it came to putting out two people, Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper, Finesse and Sinquist, Sweet Tea and Jazzy Joyce.
Sweet Tea and Jazzy Joyce.
Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah.
I love the bravado of women MCs of that era. You know what I'm saying?
I love the bravado of Erica Brown sending in $20. I'm giving this money, but I want it back if y'all don't actually cover Salt and Pepper today. We are doing Salt and Pepper today.
That's a conditional donation. I'm gonna get it to you.
Too bad we got it. It's too late. We got the money.
I'm so excited and appreciative that Minister Server is going to join us.
Nice
to get into that story of Salt and Pepper.
Nice.
Cheryl and Sandy. Woo!
Yes. Two heroes of the women back in the day, right? They had on their leotards just like heroes do. Their little biker jumpsuit joints. Talking about push it.
Salt and Pepper. They were inspirational.
Inspirational is a word I like.
Yeah, inspirational. Yeah,
inspirational.
They did popularize those bike shorts, though. I gotta admit, they did.
They did a lot of things in terms of style icons, the bleached hair, the asymmetrical cuts.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all that denim, the ripped. Sexy, sassy, saucy.
At the same time, throwing on their little African kente cloth outfits while they had their biker shorts on, like they gave everything to you. So seriously, Salt Pepper. Yeah, come back for that classical breakdown. All right.
Thanks, Air Doctor. Hey, Jackie.
Hey. Just hanging on this final episode of American Empire.
I know you wish you would have stayed in Caracas.
Girl, jeez. I was looking at my bank account hoping that somebody has secretly deposited $5,000 so I can get a round trip plane ticket with an open return day. So I can put a deposit down on a little place for 6 months somewhere in the
I see Black people jetting, like getting out of Dodge. Like the amount of Black folks I'm seeing going to Asia in particular, Thailand and Vietnam. Black folks is going to Canada, Black folks going to Mexico. Like I'm seeing Black people of this country exit this country if they are able. They are moving, and I'm like, Hopefully I'll be behind y'all in a couple months, few months next year. But what is I don't even know what to say, Jackie. I don't even know what to say here.
I mean, I don't know about Mystical. What happened to him? What happened to Mystical? Do we have to let me
Is this
look?
recent news of Mystical? Because Mystical, I think, was perhaps twice convicted of rape. Definitely convicted
Oh,
once of
wow.
Oh
rape.
yeah,
Yes.
he's definitely
No.
going down now. Go
Hold
ahead,
on.
Jackie.
Oh, this is
Here we
new.
go. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yeah,
new.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
come
Holy
on,
good
no.
God.
Yeah, he pled
Sorry.
guilty.
Here we go. U.S. rapper Mystical pleads guilty to third-degree rape in 2022 arrest. Uh, Let me see. Where is? Okay, yeah, March. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday. This
Yep.
was Tuesday. Musician, also known as Michael Tyler, faces up to 20 years after entering plea in a state court outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Pled guilty to third-degree rape in connection with a case that led to his arrest in 2022. The 55-year-old Tyler had originally been charged with more serious offenses, to which he pled not guilty: first-degree rape, simple robbery, domestic abuse, battery, and false imprisonment. Tyler's guilty plea was reportedly part of a deal that reduced the overall severity of the case against him. If convicted as originally charged, he would have faced mandatory life in prison, but he faces 20 years with this plea. His global hit in 2000 was Shake Ass, which, yes, yes. And subsequently was, and now I can't do it no more, was nominated for 2 Grammy Awards. The single had a memorable cameo in the Hugh Grant, Toni Collette, Nicholas Holt
About a
film
boy.
about a boy. I didn't know that.
I love that
Mhm.
movie. It's a great
Okay.
movie.
Yeah, also had an album in the top 40. Yes, blah blah. The
Yeah.
earlier conviction required him to register as a sex offender. In 2012, he was jailed for 3 months after an arrest on a misdemeanor domestic abuse count. In 2017, he was charged with rape and kidnapping before authorities ultimately dropped the case. The case, to which Tyler pled guilty on Tuesday before a March 30th trial date, centered on a victim who told investigators he had raped her, beaten her, and choked her. She also said he took her phone and car keys to stop her from leaving, and then forced her to send him money over Cash App. Tyler's sentencing hearing was tentatively scheduled for June, but now he has pleaded guilty. And yeah,
Well, I guess
he
he can't
is
sing that song. It ain't my fault no more. Cause
I thought
definitely going to prison.
there was an older conviction where he was accused of raping, I want to say either his hairstylist or his stylist, someone that was, a part of his staff. And I thought he did time. Like I thought Mystical was locked up
he was
for
off
at
on that.
least a few years. Again, for a similar charge. So I mean, it's pathological. First of all, I don't believe that sexual abusers and rapists, you cannot fix them. Okay, there's no fixing them. I think you might could reach a domestic abuser. You might could get that person to see the light and understand they're not supposed to put their hands on other people, but there's something compulsory about sexual predation. Like you can't turn that off. So it in our reshaped society that is to come, what do we do with these people? Like, what do you do with them? Like, I don't believe in multiple chances for sexual abusers because their recidivism and their propensity to harm multiple victims is well documented. You know what I mean? And by the time the criminal justice system actually catches up with a rapist, God knows how many actual rapes they have under their belt, let alone the ones of cooperating witnesses or victims. But in your communist world, Jacqueline, what did they do with the child molesters and the rapists?
Can I give you my historical one before she does that?
Go right
Absolutely.
ahead,
They
please
sent
do.
him to Australia.
Oh Lord. Can we not?
Yes. So the indigenous women of Australia can now deal with Britain's rapists and abusers. Excellent work. Well done, system. Thank you, system.
He just explained the settler colonial situation in Australia. That's he just explained. He just explained why the indigenous in Australia is fighting them people right now for their land. So here's the thing that I think too damn much. This is why I have insomnia, because I cannot turn this thing off. And it is a fantastic conversation I just had with my sleep specialist, that I've been having with my therapist, and they're like, "Yeah, we need to see what's going on with that brain, because Jesus Christ." But I wonder about the roots of sexual predation in predatory sexual relations in the context of colonization. I wonder how we, or if it's possible, because I've been asking that question, like, what do literally, Kim, what do we do with these people? But not in the context of sexual predators, in the context of Zionists, right? Because we're looking now at all the rats fleeing Israel, because Iran is kicking Israel's ass. And all of these people who said God gave them that land and that was their land and it's theirs, and they were indigenous to the land, all them white people, all of a sudden they found their passport from their original country, and they magically got on a plane and went back to a place that they said they didn't come from. So I've been asking that question, what do we do with those people, in the context of now these rats are coming back to their original holes. What y'all gonna do with them? But this is a perfect question for in this context, because what are we gonna do with with the enemy within? Right? This is the question. And I feel like there is so much that we all don't understand about how we have been indoctrinated to see all of ourselves. Like, I'm thinking about how, like, where the, and I know this sounds completely unrelated, but stick with me. You know how we like to shave our armpits and our legs and our little facial hairs, because we're like, it's an aesthetic, it doesn't look ladylike. Who told us that? And why? Everybody has body hair, and we have body hair for a reason, for a medical reason, for a biological reason. It exists for a reason. It's good for us. It helps us. So why do we women believe that we have to shave all this stuff off and to look pleasing to men? Well, if that idea comes from a bunch of men who had a preference and a predilection for prepubescent girls whose bodies were not developed to the point where they produced body hair, that everything was smooth and flat. And do you understand what I mean? So if women are conditioned to present ourselves as adults in a way that mimics what a child looks like, and we don't realize where that comes from, I bet you most men do not know that the reason they believe they have the right to a woman's body or a child's body is because they've been conditioned to believe that they're not fully human, that they belong to men, that men can do these things because they have a right to do these things, because these other beings are lesser beings than men. So these lesser beings are they exist for the pleasure of men. Where does that comes from? I think it comes from the same place, from the same people that convinced us that we need to shave our legs and armpits or else men won't be attracted to us, not knowing that the men who are telling us this are fucking child predators, child murderers, child rapists, and child eaters, and always have been. Right? So I am wondering how we confront this issue of both the ongoing sexual predation in our community and how we deal with decolonizing our understanding of sex, gender, childhood, and relationships. Just I know it's a huge that's a huge thing. That is a huge thing. But it is something that has to be done in the new society, and we see it being done in other revolutionary countries, because these are conversations that Venezuelans have been having about Chavismo, right? There are women's groups in Cuba and Venezuela who are having these conversations, right along with the conversations they're having about the effects of a colonial the legacy of colonial racism still in their societies. They're confronting these things at the same time that they are dealing with the crimes that are being committed because of these things, right?
Do you think that we do a good job of confronting this in our communities specifically, right?
No,
The
no.
issue of sexual predation and violence, transcends, unfortunately, Jesus, race, age,
Yeah,
socioeconomic.
yeah.
I saw this sister say on TikTok that doesn't say much about men. My God, like if you can find that particular person, regardless of where they fit in the society, that says real bad. But how do we do that? Because I think a lot of people are not honest
No.
about their proximity, either immediate proximity, like they know somebody that has been accused of this, or they may have an inkling, or the chatter about this person is that maybe they move in ways that are unscrupulous, especially when it comes to preying on folks. But
Mhm.
like, how do we do that? Because I hear from our community in particular, probably the loudest that I can recall in my lifetime, where women are coming forward, men are coming forward about being assaulted, being abused, being harmed, right? Survivors feel more confident in sharing their stories, but that is not translating to an equal amount of accountability. If that comes in the form of public awareness slash shaming, or a criminal investigation being pursued, right? So I'm
Mhm.
hearing way more survivors, but not too many
Mhm.
predators. And I brought this up maybe a couple weeks ago, and I realized afterwards that I had the timeline kind of wrong. But I had seen an older clip. And that's the thing about social media, Jackie. Girl, as a now middle-aged person, social media be getting my ass. I'm like, oh, is this a new clip? No, this is not a new clip,
Right.
baby.
Same. It's like, "Oh, I just found out." And people are like, "We knew that
Girl.
25 years ago. What the hell?"
Right. So that was me when I saw this clip, a couple clips going around about the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne admitting that the first time that he and his wife were intimate, she was drunk beyond consent, right? And I was
Wow.
like, right. So I didn't realize that was old. Okay. That had come out some time ago. But in the clip that I saw of him, he was relating that he had been speaking with some of his friends. By the way, Charlemagne is like our age group, mid-40s, whatever. Yeah, bro, yo, we ain't know that we was raping, dog. Did you realize that was rape when you was, when we was, effing drunk girls and they was passed out? Did you know that was rape? Dog, we didn't know that was rape. And I called bullshit. I called
Yeah,
fucking
that's bullshit.
bullshit.
That's bullshit. Yeah. Mhm.
So how do we confront when a lot of these people are in positions, right? A
Mhm.
lot of these people, or regular everyday folks in the community, like how do you confront how do you confront? I don't even know how to explore it beyond that. How do we confront this?
I mean, it's weird to me how people have no problem cussing a motherfucker out if he cuts in front of him in line, if he steps on his shoe, but you ain't gonna say nothing to somebody who raped your friend, your sister, your mother, your brother, your son. You know what I mean? Individually, I understand being afraid of the person who assaulted you, but people around, and that should not be on the victim, because the victims are dealing with enough. But once that person tells somebody else, so and so did this to me, it is our responsibility as the friend of the person, as the family member. No, we need to go get that motherfucker. We need to go get him. And maybe we shouldn't go alone. Maybe we shouldn't go alone. Maybe we should take the crew to make sure nobody goes to, you know what I mean? And
Strategic. Yes.
but a confrontation needs to be had. But here's the thing. I'm not even going to put that on individual people, because the reason we don't do it, individual people don't do it, is because institutions never modeled it. The institutions that matter, like the church, right? And I'm y'all know me. I am very transparent about the huge failures of religion, and particularly the Black church, and this area, and the area of queer rights and dignity. That's another area where the Black church has failed us miserably,
Continues
because
to.
yes, and continues to, because ain't no reason Jamal Bryant should be sitting in front of nobody's nothing talking about nothing. Do you understand? This is, I didn't even mean to go there, and I didn't real.
I
How in
appreciate
the
the Black
world?
church community making time for Eddie Long. Good on y'all. Get Eddie Long about it. But again, there's 1,000 Eddie Longs.
This right,
Okay.
right. Like, if we're in a situation, we're having this conversation where Jamal Bryant himself has been accused of having not just an affair, but with but with someone who is a minor.
Oh,
Just barely 18, just barely.
oh.
Just barely.
Is this from the Empowerment Temple Baltimore
Yes,
days?
when he was in Baltimore. Yes.
Oh.
So it wasn't just that he had a couple of affairs on his wife, which was bad enough. Because when I told people, "Are y'all seriously listening to that man? Really? He said, and you gonna do what he said? Okay." And then I tell people, that, and they're like, "Oh, you know? How didn't you know? How didn't you know? Y'all know everything in the world about every singer, every actor, every politician. Your neighbor 5 doors down that you don't like. You know everything about them, but you don't know shit about the pastor that you are allowing to tell you how to live your life. You don't know nothing about him or her. Get out of here with that crap. Get out of here. What you mean you didn't know? And then when I tell you this man, his morals, his life doesn't line up to his words, then it becomes, well, we all sin and fall short of the glory of God. And
He
that
who without sin cast the
that's the
first
first
stone.
stone. Or my favorite one, particularly if it's a pastor in question, the word said, touch not mine anointed. That's not what that scripture means, you dumb motherfucker. That's not what that scripture means. That scripture does not mean that you don't question the pastor when the pastor is stealing money from the church, when the pastor is lying from the pulpit, when the pastor is in everybody's bed other than his wife's, when the pastor is putting his hands on children,
Mm.
when the pastor is aligning with the right wing, when the pastor is showing up in the White House praying, putting hands on the pastor's cheek, when the pastor is saying that all the gay people in the church, in the choir, is going to hell because they gay, but he up in the gay bar too.
Mm. Whoa. Slow
So
down,
so
son. You're killing them.
this is the example that the most powerful and influential and important organizations and institutions in the Black community, one of them, this is the example that they've set for us. I am not at all saying that the same example is not set for white folks, because it is. It's the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They do the exact same thing in the white church. right? And we also know that there are entire, like, there is a story that I saw yesterday, where there was the daughter of one of the ministers of Israel. He's a government official who she publicly accused him of not just him sexually abusing her father, but a bunch of people in like a sex ring, abusing her in like ritualistic sexual abuse. This is in Israel.
Mhm.
And she was just found dead.
Oh,
They killed her.
wow.
So that is the extreme of this kind of case, right? That's like the extreme. But that is just, I think, revealing to us the nature of Israel, of Zionism. This is the nature of Zion. There is nothing good about Zionism. It is a violent white supremacist settler colonial ideology, just like what created this place. So it's not a surprise that the same behaviors that were carried out in the establishment of this place, the mass murder of people like they're genociding the Palestinians, the rape of girls and women like they do now, not just with Palestinians, but with their own children.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's not a surprise. And yeah, people gonna have to figure out what they gonna do with these people when they leave that place and go back to where it is they came from, because you gonna have to deal with these people. But for us, we Black folks, whether we are people of faith or not, but particularly for us believers, we're gonna have to let go. We really are gonna have to either leave churches where this shit happens and we know it happens, and call them out. And these people are going to have to be dragged out into the public square. We are going to have to be what's the phrase? We're going to have to be brutal. This struggle is going to have to be brutal among us. We are going to have to be merciless in excising these people from acceptability in our communities. And we're going to have to come to not care about who they are, what they do, what their legacy is. We are either going to care about our people enough that we are willing to protect our people from anything and anybody that would hurt our people, regardless of who they are, or we're going to continue to perpetuate this bullshit, and it's gonna continue to make us weak. We are going to this we're going to have to do a lot of this, any how what am I trying to say? Just like the institutions like the church, fraternities and sororities, the little social organizations like the Elks and the Eastern Stars and the Masons and that kind of stuff. These types of organizations and institutions are they're breeding grounds for abuse, because they are secret societies in a lot of cases. They're closed. They have separate rules that dictate whether you are accepted in that society or not. And if you break the rules or you break the silence about the community, you become ostracized. You are the problem, you know. And people are going to have to the people in those societies are going to have to they're going to have to turn that over. They're the ones who are going to have to confront this issue within their societies, because if they don't, then people outside of the societies will. And what will happen is then people will destroy those societies. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be, but if people really do want to save what is good in whatever institutions we have and get rid of the things that are destroying us, it is the people in these institutions that are going to have to do it. And there's really no getting around that. And for the rest of us, for the folks who won't, Yeah, we're gonna have to. We should absolutely call them out every time. Yep, publicly talk about them like shit. Tell them they ain't shit over and over again. It's gonna have to. There's no other way to. Because you're right, Kim. There is no what is the legal system in this country going to do? The legal system in this country was set up by the people who created this bullshit. So the legal system does not exist to punish the people who carry these kinds of crimes out. That's why the legal system punishes the victims.
And
because it was the perpetrators who set this up.
And to your point about organization, because again, I do fantasize that there is like a black hotline that people can call when there has been harm done against women and children. There was 2 stories recently. One outside of Philadelphia, Chester County. Is it Doylestown, y'all, or Darbyville? I can't recall. A crossing guard was punched in the face by a motorist. A woman crossing guard was punched in the face by a male motorist because she was taking too long, allowing the children to cross the street. The police are still looking for him. I hope the police never find him, because I hope the community catches up with him and stomps the dog shit out of him. Okay. Like, the number of casual instances of violence against women in this country, let me just speak to this country. It's so normalized, Jackie. That shit is just like blips on the screen. Oh, a woman got punched in the face by a strange man on the street, news at 11, right? And the police are circulating the pictures, trying to catch up with them. That's cool. But I wish I wish that we could handle this internally, right? Like, and nobody even needs to know about it. We ain't got to post it. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to document it. We don't have to record it. But the individual who committed the harm knows why they're getting their teeth kicked in, and maybe will think twice before putting their hands on someone more vulnerable than them the next time. And the way that our people behind the wall, people that are incarcerated, I really appreciate the developed sense of justice when it comes to dealing with rapist abusers and people that harm children in jail, right? Because your paperwork looks like shit, my nigga. Something bad's going to happen to you, okay? And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I wish that on the outside, we had that much of a developed sense of avenging those that are out here in the community causing harm against women and children. Like, I wish the energy that's on the inside for rapists was actually out here on the outside for rapists, because most of the rapists are never going to see the inside of a jail cell. Okay. Most of them never going to get a chance to get they teeth kicked in by people defending defending women and children. No, that same energy is on the inside. We need that on the outside.
We need a drop squad.
I mean, I think two things, as I usually do. I think that there should be more public reckoning of this guy. I do think
she said stones yesterday. She said they
I did. I think there needs to be stone. It needs to be public. Oh, you the one? This is why. And do it the way your mama, when your mama unfortunately beat your behind, that's another conversation. But
do it how they do in Taiwan with the caning. Let's cane.
Because you put your hands on that child, you nasty motherfucker. That needs to be public. On the other hand, we ain't organized enough to do it in a responsible way. That's the problem. These kinds of things, community justice can be a great thing if people are organized to carry it out in its proper context. Because, if you give people without organization that kind of power, next thing you know, you're just going to have folks running around with bricks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just stoning niggas they don't like for any reason in the head. That we don't want that.
They didn't give you your correct change back? Let's go get them.
No.
Yeah. I mean, and then the thing is, then we're going to have to bite the bullet, and then we're going to have to take tax from our own pockets to pay for them. Like we're gonna have to give them some money so they can be like, okay, well, we got y'all set up. We can call y'all. Y'all getting paid whenever we need y'all. So yeah, it takes organization to do all that.
Interesting. I didn't even think about paying him because I honestly thought a
yeah.
lot of people would do that work for free, right? But
Yeah.
touche. I don't have
Luke
anything to
Cage
say.
wasn't even not paid. 'Cause it
Oh,
was
Luke
like,
Cage.
yo, he was for
Comic
hire. I mean that's how it's got to be. We got just like a police force.
book.
They get paid. The damn shame of it all is that we got to have our own police.
But I think that's the whole point
Yeah.
of the organizing argument of community policing or community control over every institution in our community. We do want that. We
Mm,
do want to be able to control uh, uh, policing, public safety in our communities. The thing is, it has to be organized, right? Yes, I do think that for these kinds of cases where vulnerable people are sexually abused, and that, yeah, I do think that needs to be public because it's the silence and the secrecy that keeps this going, right? So these kind of things, these kind of crimes should not continue to be kept behind a veil of secrecy. That I don't, or the punishment for them. The perpetrators need to be outed. I think they do need to be outed. The problem is communities are not organized in order to do this in a way that is productive to anybody. It's just revenge, right? And revenge doesn't really help anything if people don't have the ability to try to improve. And if nobody learns anything from what is done, right? And that's where lynch mobs come in. So
yeah.
we don't want a vigilante kind of situation because then you end up with people falsely accusing folks of stuff and that kind of thing. So the community response has to be organized. It cannot just be just a mob of folks going to string up a rapist. That can't be done. We have to be better than the colonizers in that case. And
Right.
that's the only time I will use that kind of phrasing because I don't give a shit about the colonizers. And I'm certainly not trying to like do the we need to take the high ground. No, we don't. Fuck them.
Mm.
But we don't want to send lynch mobs. We don't want to establish lynch mobs in our communities as a way to solve a problem.
We
The point of organization is so that we solve problems in a way that is beneficial for the entire community.
so
I,
we
I
don't
hope
want
that makes sense.
yeah, we don't want the proud brothers and sisters. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and let them
What?
know what's coming up. You
They
know,
don't
defend? Did
know.
they? Did
like
they?
the proud boy, like the proud boys, proud
I
brothers
But
and
don't.
what
sisters.
were they vigilantes for righteousness of
Not
anything?
for righteousness.
No, not for righteousness. Well, we got coming up on Dark and the Blue, Jackie. So we get out of here. We got a minute.
uh I couldn't get my guests this week. Everybody's really busy. So it's just me shooting the stuff about some history. There we go.
Okay. You need me to come for some historical
Oh, no,
Hey,
thank you so
data?
much. I appreciate it. You're so
All right.
kind. No.
I actually missed my daughter's awards ceremony today to be here with y'all, but you know,
What?
wait, well, don't shake your head. I
we
told,
told you not to. We
yeah,
told you to
well,
go be with your daughter.
yeah, but she rather go get Mexican food after today, and that's what I'm gonna go pick her up from school, and that's what we're gonna go do. So I'm gonna cheer her on just like I do at this sport. I've always wanted my kids to play sports, but eh. Anyway, that's my sporting event. There.
Oh, mhm.
Academics. All right, Kim, what you got coming up?
So you're taking her to eat after the game? You didn't want to
Yeah,
go to the game?
I've been to all of them with flowers and cheering. I'll miss out one this time.
He
She's
said,
got 2 more years of high school. I'm sure I'm going to go to a whole lot more. So what you got coming up, Kim?
You, Salt and
That's
Pepper,
right,
Minister
salt and
Server,
pepper. That's
11
right.
a.m. Sister Erica, we will be keeping that $20. Thank you so
We
much.
sure will.
We will thank you in advance for your support of the program. We do appreciate it. But no, this is a big one for me anyway. And again, I'm very excited. Minister Server is going to be joining us. I need that generational perspective.
You need an old head. I get it.
Shut up. So no, you say, oh, listen, they had the most fun, Air Doctor. Listen, the upper part of Gen X had a blast in the fucking 80s, even though they did start shooting up the jams and shit. But when they wasn't shooting, they had a good time, though. They had a lot of fun.
Back when they called themselves ski because coke was the drug. What? All right, let's get up. Yeah, you know that. That's why they called themselves Cool Rock Ski, Frank Ski. All these skis was because of the coke.
Did not know that.
Hey, come to Classical Breakdown. You learn
you
something.
I still know it, Jackie. I don't know. Is that true? Really?
You
Hurt Me Love Bug Star Ski? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, now I get it. The snow blow snow.
There
skis.
you go.
Oh God, that just. Oh, Lord.
You're welcome. All right. Y'all have a great weekend. That's Jackie Lucan. That's Kim Brown. I'm the Ear Doctor, and this is the Remix Morning Show. And you are tuning in to Black Liberation Media. We'll see you tomorrow morning with some more of the Remix Morning Show right here. Peace out, people. Have a good one. Black Liberation Media is a collective of Black and African organizers, journalists, academics, and media personalities serving Black and African masses seeking to further grow in their understanding of themselves, their histories, and the African world through entertainment and news. Please continue to like, subscribe, and donate to the channel so we can further serve you and liberate our people. You can also go to blkliberationmedia.org, get some merchandise, and also become a Patreon member and a member from the YouTube. Please do what you can, share, and show your love as we will show ours for you. Black Liberation Media.